We're going to be looking at this paper, the final paper for 2023 Life Science. Let's start with the first question, that is section A. So you have to download that paper from THUNDERTEDUC.com. Yes, if you want it, yes, you can find it on THUNDERTEDUC.com. Yes. All right. The first question, I always advise students that you cannot go to the paper and you leave objective unanswered. Even if you don't know the objective, at least try to guess. And then you never know, your guessing could be correct. And then you get marks concerning about that objective. So you cannot leave it because you don't know it and then you leave it unanswered. So you must always try your best so that you can get a mark, at least those 2 marks for that question. So let's start with the first question. It's about diabetes. They're saying that diabetes mellitus, as I usually tell you that from our distinction material, that when you talk about diabetes, you have to talk about mellitus. Don't just say diabetes. Diabetes mellitus or diabetes insipidus. Diabetes of sugar and diabetes of water. So this is diabetes of sugar. So is caused by number 1, they are saying that over secretion of glucagon. No, under secretion of glucagon. Then over secretion of insulin, and then under secretion of insulin. Yes, the best answer is the under secretion of insulin, because this diabetes is what you usually call sugar diabetes, meaning that the glucose excess glucose cannot be converted to glycogen by the liver. Yes, so it means that you have too much sugar in the body, and then you end up suffering from this condition called diabetes mellitus. So the answer is D. So you expected to have 2 marks there. Then let's go to the second question, saying that receptors that are stimulated by the low water level in the blood are located in the where do we find these receptors which is stimulated as a result of low level of water in the blood or in the body? So which receptors are those? We call them, because we are talking about water, so it means that is osmo. So it means that those receptors are called osmoreceptors. Yes, sometimes we call it they are found in the thirst centers in the hypothalamus. So in this case, the answer is going to be B, hypothalamus. Don't forget that it is hypothalamus which determine which produce ADH. Yes. So this receptor are found in the hypothalamus. 2 marks there. They're saying that myelin sheath on a neuron or on the nerve cell, what's the function? Provide electrical insulation. Yes. Transport impulse towards the cell body. Towards the cell body, that is a dendrite, receives impulse from the axon, that is the effector, converts converts stimuli into a nerve impulse, and that is a receptor. So this is a receptor. Basically, this is a receptor, this is a effector, and then transport impulse towards the cell body. This is the dendrite. So the answer becomes A. So expect that to be A. Sorry for that. And then we are saying that so the answer is M. They're saying that the structure where sperms are temporarily stored in the testes, the structure where the sperms are temporarily stored is the, how do you call that structure? Yes, definitely, yes, is found in the testes, but not all the parts of the testes will store the sperms. Hence, we will not take testes. Epididymis, that's where when sperms are being produced in the seminiferous tubes, yes, they are not yet mature to full capacity. So what does it do? These sperms, they go to the epididymis and they stay there for a short period of time so that they can mature fully, and then they can be used for fertilization. So the answer becomes B. D, this is the vas deferens. The vas deferens is just a tube which transports sperms from epididymis to ejaculatory ducts, penis. Obviously, everyone knows the penis, even if we don't explain it. Yes. Then we go to the next question. The next question is talking about which one of the following is a function of amniotic fluid. What's the function? Many students, I've seen that many students talk about amniotic fluid. They relate it to nutrition because it is a fluid. You expect it to be nourishing the fetus. No. Amniotic fluid is not related to nutrition. That's why even here on the objective, the first answer they gave is provide nutrition, so that it attracts the attention of the people who don't know the actual answer of the amniotic fluid. Therefore, in this case, the answer is going to be it's not going to be nutrition, so this one is out. Yes. Then protects the fetus against mechanical injury. This is correct. Let's see if there is a more correct answer. Supplies oxygen to the fetus. No. And then removes metabolic wastes from the fetus. No, that's not a function of amniotic fluid. So the actual answer is going to be B. So there you get 2 marks. I hope yes. So let's go to the next question. The brain. Yeah, they're talking about the brain here. Brain is simple. I always tell my students that before you answer any question, you see this 2023 final paper. Yes, I expected everyone to get all the marks. Yes, to get all these marks. Yes. But you know, as a paper, as a past paper is always easy, but a paper where you go and sit, it is always difficult. But you can see it here as an easy paper, but when they tell you to sit on in exam room, and then we give you when you don't know, it becomes difficult for you. But as long as you prepare, this passing is a little bit simple. Yes, is a little bit what? Simple, as long as you read. Make sure that you remember what you have read by repeating and repeating and repeating what you have read. All right, number 1. What is number 1? Is corpus callosum. Number 2. Number 1 is corpus callosum. Number 2 is cerebrum. Number 3 is cerebellum. Number 4 is the medulla oblongata. Don't forget that. I always tell my students that this first swelling is not medulla oblongata. It's called a pons, but you don't usually ask it. The second swelling is what called a medulla oblongata. You must always know the functions of each. All right. Which one of the following represents corpus callosum? Yeah, obviously we have said that 1 represents corpus callosum. So A is going to be the most correct answer in that regard. Then they are saying that the 1.7 is saying which one of the following is a function of part 3. Part 3 is what? Yes, we have seen that part 3 is the cerebellum. Yes, cerebellum is responsible for coordination of voluntary movement. There is a confusion. I always tell my students that don't confuse coordination and control. It does not control voluntary movements. It coordinates voluntary movements. Yes. All right, let's go to the objectives. They said control voluntary movement. No. Doesn't control. You see, they always give you a confusing answer as A. So make sure that you don't rush when you're answering such questions. So it coordinates voluntary movement. So the answer becomes C. So that is the most correct answer. Controls voluntary, involuntary actions. That's not the function of cerebellum. That's the function of medulla oblongata. Controls all sensation. Receives and interprets all sensations is done by number 2. So the actual answer here becomes C. Coordinates all voluntary movements. Placenta is formed by. There is a video which I created, and it was showing you the animation of the placenta and how does it form. So here is number 1. They are saying that amniotic fluid and amnion. Amniotic fluid, no. Chorionic villi and endometrium. Yes, it could be the answer, but let's see if we have the most correct answer. Always read all the objectives and find out the most correct answer. They're saying that amnion, no. The moment there is amnion, no. Amniotic fluid and no. Don't forget that during the last stage of the development of the zygote until implantation, we say that it forms a hollow ball of cells, which we call the blastula or blastocyte. So this blastula forms the outer layer, which we call the chorionic, which we call the chorion. The chorion forms finger-like projection called the chorionic villi, which are used for implantation. And implantation occurs on the walls of the endometrium, or the inner lining of the uterus, which we call the endometrium. Hence, endometrium and the chorionic villi becomes the part of this, forms what you call a placenta. Hence, B becomes the most correct answer. So, let's go to the next question. Oversecretion of hormone produced by thyroid gland may result in a person oversecretion of a hormone produced by the thyroid gland. Which hormone is that? First ask yourself, which hormone is that? Thyroid gland obviously cannot produce luteinizing hormone. Definitely is going to produce thyroxine. Thyroid gland, thyroxine. Thyroid gland, thyroxine. So you have to know that. Yes. So meaning that they're asking the effect of thyroxine when it is over secreted. Don't forget that you have what you call under secretion and over secretion. So in this case is over secretion. I stated it in my book for distinction material very, very, very well. And actually the way they brought it here is exactly how I try to explain it. I'll show you. Let's first find out the answer. Gaining weight because of increase in the metabolic reaction. No. If there is increase in the metabolic reaction, we expect to have low weight. Don't forget that thyroxine is related to metabolic rate. High production of thyroxine, you expect to have a high metabolic rate. And if you have high metabolic rate, it means that the food is being broken down very, very, very fast. Meaning that you might not have food to be stored and then you have this gaining. So in actual sense, it looks to be oversecretion of thyroxine will lead result in a person. So we have said that here is going to be weight loss. Weight loss because of increase in the metabolic rate. So we said that I'm going to show you on our distinction material book. There you'll find it in the at the end. Yes, you'll find it here. Yes. Thyroxine is here. Yes, disorder, which we call the hyperthyroidism. So here is the question, the answer of the question. They are saying that overactive of the thyroid gland occurs when the thyroid gland produces too much of the hormone thyroxine. Hyperthyroidism can accelerate the body's metabolism, meaning that metabolic rate is going to increase, causing weight loss, you see, and rapid or irregular heartbeat. Yes, this is what they are saying on this question, that oversecretion of this hormone will, which is produced by the thyroid gland, which we have said that is thyroxine, so it's going to cause weight loss because of the increased metabolic rate. That's what I tried to wrote here. That's where they got that question from. Yes, so I think I'm clear there. Let's go to the next question. They're saying the table below shows the average testosterone level of male of different age groups. Which one of the following is an explanation for difference in testosterone level between the age groups? Yeah, if you look at this, you'll find out that this is as a result of low level of testosterone. And what will make the low level of testosterone is either the person is still young, still low in age, meaning that not yet at that age, and then number two, the person maybe is having some infections. All right, let's look at this. Testosterone level are high in which one of the following is an explanation for difference in testosterone level between the age groups. 0 to 10 is 5, 10 to 5, 11 to 15 is 15, and then 16 to 20 is 19. So here they are saying group 1 and group 3 due to start of puberty. No. Group 1 and group 3 due to start of puberty. Okay. Let's look at it. And then they are saying that group 1 than group 3. Does level of testosterone too much in group 1 than group 3? Check here. No. So this is out. Group 2, yes, than group 1. Yes, group 2 than group 1 due to the start of puberty. This one is correct, but we need to first find out if there is the most correct answer. Group 3 than group 1 because it needs to be inhibited. No. Group 1 than group 2 because it needs to inhibit. No. So basically the answer becomes 2. Why? Because group 2 is more than group 1 because group 2 has started is just entering the puberty stage. Therefore, the sperms are supposed to be produced in large amounts. Then let's go to the second question, whereby everyone must get all these questions. All these questions must be got right. Okay, number 1. The first question, they are saying that the process of maintaining a constant internal environment. How do you call that? We call it homeostasis. That's number 1. Good. They say organelle found in large quantities in the neck region of the sperm. How do you call those organelles? How do you call mitochondria? Yes, they're saying organelles. Yes, not organelle. They're saying disease characterized by degeneration of the brain tissue leading to memory loss. We call it degeneration of the myelin, degeneration of the myelin sheath is called multiple sclerosis. But now here they're saying degeneration of the brain tissue leading to memory loss. Hence, it is Alzheimer's disease. The layer in the eye that is richly supplied with blood vessels. How do you call that layer? If you look at it, is even dark in color. Dark in color, black when we are drawing it in most cases. We call it choroid. Choroid. Yes, they're saying that the type of development in birds in which the young one is born fully developed and able to move, meaning that born prepared. Pre means prepared. Precocial. Yes, precocial. Then they are saying that the structure in the sperm that contains enzymes to dissolve the outer layer of the ovum. How do you call that structure which contains the enzyme? Acrosome. And then I'm saying the blood vessel that transports blood, which is deoxygenated, meaning that high level of carbon dioxide from the fetus. From the moment they say from the fetus, where the heart is, remember, heart is, to the placenta, meaning that away from the heart. Any blood vessel which transports blood away from the heart is called artery. Artery. But because we are talking about the fetus, meaning that it's going to be umbilical. So it becomes umbilical. Yes, umbilical artery. You see? Yeah, simple. So you have got all those marks without even wasting a lot of time. Then let's go to the next question. A only, B only, A and B or none? A only, B only, A and B, both A and B or none? None. So you guys, if you don't write it the way they told you here, yes, the way they told you here, then you are just making your answers to be not correct, and is supposed to be debated about. So always do the way the instruction is telling you to do. All right, let's start. An extra embryonic membrane found in amniotic fluid. Amniotic egg, not amniotic fluid, sorry. How do we call that? Let me know if you have a question. You prepare. Now you know that paper 1 did not come out the way I expected it. So what should I do with the paper 2? I have to prepare more and more. Yes. So when you sit there in your rooms and then you relax, you think that you still have today and tomorrow. I'll read tomorrow. So when you watch this video, it will tell you that, no, I'm supposed to read more. I'm supposed to read more. 2023 must be my year. 2023 must be my year. So, watch it. Know your mistake. After that, go back and read paper 2. Be prepared for paper 2. I know that you will make it. Watch the videos on THUNDERTEDUC. You will never go astray. You will never. You will get a distinction. All right, let's continue. They're saying that. So here the answer is both A and B. Is both A and B. So a structure in the ear that absorbs excess pressure. As I'm always teaching you that they like this structure. I don't know why. Why do they like this structure which absorbs excess pressure from the inner ear? And then we say that that structure, it absorbs excess pressure from the inner ear, is called round window. It's not here. So it means that none. Then we go to the structure that transports semen out of the body. Out of the body. Is a penis. Yeah, that's where those semens are passing. But there is a tube inside the penis which we call urethra. So the answer becomes B only. Yes. Let's go to the next question. I remember I'd gone somewhere for specific research, and then I found students I want, whenever I go to any school or what, I want to be in the class. Né? Why? Because teaching is nice. Teaching is nice. When you see that you are changing people's life, it's nice. Né? Yeah, people's life can be changed because of you. Yes. So now I told them this, exactly this. I don't know whether those people have got it right. I hope. All right, let's go. Nervous system is either nervous system is either central. If it's not central, is peripheral, meaning that A is the peripheral nervous system. Yes. So nervous system, the central nervous system is divided into two, either brain or spinal cord, meaning that B is the spinal cord. Yes. The peripheral nervous system is either made up of cranial nerves or spinal nerves. Spinal nerves. So meaning that is spinal nerves. The spinal nerves, yes, these two, they form what you call autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system divides into two, either sympathetic nervous system or parasympathetic nervous system. So now it's covered. Let's go to the questions and find out. All right, let's continue and find out. They're saying that identify the components of the nervous system represented above. A, we have said it. A is the peripheral nervous system. Done. And then they're saying that B. What is B? Where is B? B is the spinal cord. Done. Got it there right. Name the type of nerve found in C. C. Where is C now? Is remember, is not the nerves which come from the brain or the nerves which come from the spinal cord. That's why you call it spinal nerves. Cool. Done. Give the letter and the name of the component that slows down the heart rate when the emergent situation has passed. Meaning that sympathetic nervous system rises the situation, parasympathetic reduces the situation. I've been talking about this in the distinction material. Let me show you from the distinction material. Yes, even in paper 2, use this distinction material. There is no way you can fail this. This is nothing. It's nothing when it comes to our distinction material book. Let me show you. This is let me show you this. Yeah, it's here. It's not around here. Yes. Is here. Sympathetic nervous system, yes, is responsible for flight or you either fight or flight function. They're saying that the nervous system restores. Check. This one brings the situation to emergence, while yes, this one restores it down when the situation is gone. Restores the body to normal state after the emergent situation. What are they saying here? Let's see. What are they saying there? They're saying that give the other name of the component that slows down the heart rate when the emergent situation is passed. That's what they are looking for. Yes. So now I come here and they say parasympathetic nervous system. So the answer is E, and then name is the parasympathetic nervous system. So this, what I'm explaining here is here. Let me show you. This diagram, that diagram is here. Is there. Simple. That's what they're asking. They brought this diagram exactly how you check. Yes, nervous system. Yeah, nervous system, central nervous system. Check. Central nervous system, brain, spinal cord. Brain, spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system. Yeah, where you have the autonomic nervous system and the somatic. Yes, and then now autonomic nervous system is divided. Everything is there. So there is no way how you can fail when you are using this distinction material. Download it from the link below. You will be able to get the distinction material book. All right, let's continue. They're saying that name the neuron, name the nerve cell that is made up of the nerve tissue. How do you call that nerve cell? How do you call that nerve cell? Is called a what? A neuron. Neuron. Yes. So we call it a neuron. Don't forget that a nerve, when you say nerve, it's like a wire. You know, a wire is solid on, the wire which transmits electricity. But if you check inside, so this one becomes a nerve. When you check inside, I have small wire. Those small wires, we call them neurons. We call them what? Neurons. That's what they're asking for. Yes. So nerve and neuron, they're the same thing but different scale. Neuron is very small. Nerve cell is nerve cells is a big wire. So name the nerve cell that make up the nerve tissue. So basically that's what they are looking for. State 2 ways in which the brain is protected. This one we have been talking about this. All right. Brain is protected by 3 ways. Number 1, by the cranium. I've been saying that don't say skull because there is a difference between the skull and the cranium. So you must say cranium because the cranium is the brain box. Skull, it includes even the mouth, teeth, the jaws. Basically, I'm talking about the jaws, all that is a skull. But what they are looking for here, they're looking only the brain box, the part which protects the brain, because the teeth don't protect the brain. No. Yes. All right. Number 2 is, we say that meninges. Any there? Meninges. Yes. Number 2 is the cranium. Cranium. Yes. Meninges. These are the 3 membranes which are found in the brain. Around the brain, which you call the piamara, dioramata, arachnoids. We don't talk about them. Just know that meninges. Then you go to cranium, and then cerebrospinal fluid. Those are 3 ways in which the brain is being protected. Yes, it's simple. Even distinction material says it here. Cranium, meninges, cerebrospinal fluid. Simple. Someone is saying that you missed 1.26. 1.26. Serious? Nadia. Okay, let me check it. Let me check 1.26. Nadia is saying that I missed 1.26. Let me check it. 1.26, 1.2. Where is it? 1.26. A group of cells. Oh, thank you very much, Nadia. You're saying a group of cells in the pancreas, yes, that secrete insulin and glucagon. How do we call those cells? We call them isolates. This one disturbs the students with their spelling. Isolates of lung. When a penny. Okay. Isolates of Okay, let me check now. This one is acting. Doesn't know that I'm the best actor. Okay, isolates of lung, yes, Langhans. Yes, we call them isolates of Langhans. Yes, those are the special cells. Yes, we these isolates of Langhans, they have what called alpha cells and beta cells. Yes, but they want the general name because this is terminology. You can't say alpha and beta cells. No. Isolates of Langhans. Isolates of what? This is the ear. Yes, we call it the ear. All right, let's go to the ear and then we find out what is it. Label it before you try to answer. Number 1, A is what? Tympanic membrane or tympanum. B, what is it? These are all the 3 oscars, all the 3 bones which you call the oscars. What is C? C, check the way the shape is oval window. Then what is E? E is this one. E is this one. It's the same as this one. This one is the same as this one. They just separate them. Yes, the inner ear, the middle ear, and then the outer ear is that side. So E is a round window. What is D? D is eustachian tube. What is F? F is semicircular canals. Yes. All right. Let's start now. Identify F. We have said it. Semicircular canal. Then give the collective term for bones B. We say that we call them oscars. Yes, oscars. Yes. They're saying that. So we say that these are scores. Yes, they're saying that give the name, give the letter and the name of the structure that that what equalizes pressure between outer and the middle ear. That is the tympanum. Tympanum. So they're saying letter and the name. Letter and the name. Let's go back and find out the tympanum. Tympanum is A. So you can say that the answer here is A. Oh, they're saying equalizes pressure. Oh, no. They're saying equalizes pressure. The answer is D, not tympanum. The answer is D. D, which is eustachian tube. Yes, the answer is D. Yeah, D. It equalizes pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane. They're saying equalizes pressure between the outer and the middle ear. Outer, this side of outer, meaning that this side of the tympanic membrane, and then middle, this side of the tympanic membrane. Hence, we shall say that it equalizes pressure on the other side of the tympanum. So, meaning that is D, which is eustachian tube. Number B is create pressure wave. Creates pressure wave. That is in the inner ear. It creates pressure wave. What creates pressure wave is the oval window, because when this they start to change, it causes this oval window to move in and out. So when it moves in and out, it causes this fluid which is found here and then it moves. Let me show you using the distinction material. Maybe you'll understand it better. Yes, here this is what I'm saying. Yeah, here is the ear. Yes, this is what they are saying. This part. You see this part? Yes, this part. It creates pressure wave here. This part. So it creates that pressure wave. You see now the pressure wave is going in. Ne? Yes. So this is the eustachian tube. They are saying it equalizes pressure on this side and this side. And then which other question? Other question they are saying that yeah, those are the two questions. Create pressure wave. So the answer is C and the oval window. C, which is equal to oval window. Yes, the paper was easy. Anyway, we shall see what as we are going down. Yes, we shall see as we are going down. Name the receptor that stimulated by the change in the position of the head. If you use the distinction material, what you call the Saidi's model of balance. There we go. Change in position and head. Maculae. Change in speed and direction. Christi. What are they saying? Name the receptor that is stimulated by the change in position of the head. Maculae. Speed, direction and speed of the movement of the head. Christi. Speed and direction. Christi. And then position of the head. Maculae. Done. So when you are going to the paper, they will try to trick you. What? There is no way this book distinction material will never answer your question, will never make your life simple. It will always make your life simple, because I know that humans love simplicity life. Anyway, let's go to the next question, which is section B. It means that now you have 50 marks. 50 marks. Out of 50, you have 50 out of 50. Even if you don't do any other section, it means that you have already passed from the 30%. Yeah, 45. Yeah, you have passed. Out of 150, you have passed the 30%. But we are not looking for 30 marks. We are looking for a distinction. Hence, distinction material book was designed. All right, let's go to the next question. Hey, this is the one. What is this? Obvious. This one knows. If you're a boy and you can't answer these questions, then I don't know why. I know that boys like female reproductive system. And then you find out that girls, they like. If you ask the girls, which system should they bring? They will say, they must bring the male reproductive system because I know it. How can you fail to know your system and you know someone else's system? And when you ask the boys, which one should they bring? They must bring the female. I hope now all the boys, you have managed to pass all these structures. Okay, A, what is A? Fallopian tube. B, endometrium. C, vagina. That one is obvious. What is the second name for vagina? Birth canal. All right, what is D? D is uterus. Yes, don't forget that the uterus is, I always say that uterus is divided into 3. The first one, uterine wall, endometrium, the inner lining of the uterus, which is endometrium, and then the uterine cavity, the space of the uterus. Yes, so basically all of it is uterus, but it's just divided into different components. All right, let's go to the question and see what are they telling us. First question, they're saying B. Identify B. Obvious, we say that. Endometrium. Simple. Endometrium. Yes, endometrium. The second question, they're saying that name the process that takes place in part A. Where is part A? They're saying name the process. So what happens in part A is fertilization. The sperm finds the ovum there. Yes. So it means that when we go to that, we're gonna say that the process here is fertilization. Fertilization, yes. Describe the process named above. 1 mark. Describe the process of fertilization. 1 mark. It means that you have to make it as simple as possible. Fertilization is when the haploid nucleus of the sperm fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. Simple. You can't exceed that because it's just 1 mark. Yeah, but unless if it was 4 marks, then you can talk about the head of the sperm having the acrosome, which contain the nucleus, which contain the enzymes, which digest the membrane of the ovum, so that the nucleus of the sperm enters the nucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. But for 1 mark, you just say that is when the haploid nucleus of the sperm fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. It seems like they wanted you to define what is fertilization. Simple. Think that is clear. Yes. Describe the development of the zygote until implantation. This one has been my song to my students. Yes. Most especially the students who are always on THUNDERTEDUC. Yeah, THUNDERTEDUC channel. I've been telling you, and those students who have been attending my classes online. Yes. Yes. This has been my song. You can't go to the paper without knowing the development of the zygote until implantation. Let me show you from the distinction material. Yeah, what we talked about, the development of the zygote. Is there development of the zygote until implantation? Even I showed you how do we mark this. Development of the zygote until implantation. Exactly, that's what they are saying. Describe the development of the zygote until implantation occurs. There we go. Development of the zygote until implantation. They even didn't change any statement. There we go. The zygote, you saying a zygote, you do not earn a mark. Why? Because, yes, they mentioned the zygote. If they say that, describe what happens when the sperm fuses with the ovum to form until implantation, then mentioning a zygote will give you a mark. It undergoes, so we shall say that zygote, you're going to start with the zygote. The zygote undergoes mitosis. Yes, that's the first mark, mitosis. Mitosis to form a ball. You saying a ball is a mark cell called morula. Morula is another mark, which divide mitotically or repeatedly to form a halo. The word halo is a mark. Ball of cell called blastula is another mark. And then this blastula forms the outer layer, which you call the chorion. And the chorion forms what you call the finger-like projection called chorionic villi, which is used for implantation. I explained this one even before. Simple. Life science is easy. If you want a distinction, go do life science. If you want a distinction, don't just do life science. Use distinction material book. Where to get it? Download it in the link below. Yes. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next question. Describe the development. That one, 4 marks. Mahala. Yes. Explaining 2 ways in which structure D is structurally suited for gestation. Now, ask yourself, what is structure D? Oh, the uterus. They want the uterus. How is this uterus structure suited for its function of gestation? First of all, what is gestation? The period of pregnancy. Yes, is what you call gestation. So, how is... Don't forget that you start with the sperm. Ne? Sperm. Yes, and the ovum. Yes, and the ovum. So, when the sperm and the ovum, they fertilize, you form a zygote. So, a zygote. Now, that is very small in such a way that you can't even see it. Yes, you can't even see it. So, but how big is the baby? Very big. Ne? It means that it must have that ability to accommodate this invisible, from invisible to the most visible individual. So, now in this case, it means that the first thing you can talk about here is it stretches to accommodate, is able, ne? Is able to stretch, ne? Or the muscles are able to stretch to accommodate the growing of the baby. That's the first point. Stretching. Why does it stretch? To accommodate the growing baby. You see? Number two, these muscles, they don't only stop there from stretching. Yes? Yes? They also contract during the period of giving birth. So it brings about labor during delivery, so that it facilitates this process of giving birth. So labor, they can contract and relax, creating labor. Yes, helping delivery process to happen very fast. Number two, stretching to allow this space. You know this space? We say that this space is what? Let me show you. Yeah, how do you call this space? We said it's the uterine cavity, the space. So when it's stretching, the space increases. You want to know that the space is increasing, you will only see the tummy becoming bigger and bigger. Yes. So it means that the thing is what? Is stretching. Anyway, what happens at night, we see it during the day. Yeah. So let's continue to the next question. Describe how secretion of prostate gland, secretion of the prostate gland provide protection for the sperm from condition in part C. What is part C? Vagina. Now ask yourself, how about the vagina? Is acidic. So is acidic. Remember, if a vagina is acidic, yes, acidic. Yeah, what does it mean? It means that sperms don't like acidic condition. So what should we do? The male reproductive structure, that is prostate gland, is supposed to produce an alkaline fluid. Yes, this alkaline fluid will neutralize. You see, it will neutralize the acidic nature of the vagina, and then it will be protecting the sperms from being denatured. Don't forget that sperms are protein in nature, ne? Yeah. So it tries to neutralize it so that it makes these sperms known to be killed by this acidic condition of the vagina. It is good for the vagina to be acidic, but it's not too good if it is too acidic. Yes, don't forget that anything which is too much is always bad. Anyway, let's go to the next question to do that question. These questions which are in a passage form, these are questions which I don't usually expect students to fail, because we don't usually bring them back the way they are. We don't. But you have to know how do you obtain information from the what? From the extract. Okay. You have to read the passage, ne? Very well. Ne? Yes. So for the purpose of time, pause the video, If you are not on live, read it, or I hope you have a paper. Then after that, we continue. State one function of FSH. But they talked about FSH here. Ne? Yes. State one function. What is FSH? You won't know what is the function of FSH if you don't know what is FSH. Follicle stimulating hormone. Sorry. We call it follicle stimulating hormone. A hormone which stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle. Simple. The name is stating that this hormone stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle. What is the state one function of that hormone? Its name is stating the function. It's the hormone which stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle. Simple. Done. Don't even waste too much time there. Name one other hormone that is in female, and this hormone is secreted by the pituitary gland during the menstrual cycle. Luteinizing hormone. Yeah, if you use the distinction material book, we have been saying this over and over and over again. Explain how. Under secretion of the hormone you have mentioned above may lead to infertility. So now you have to ask yourself, what is the function of that hormone? If those functions do not take place, will fertilization take place? If no, then you have to link to that question. So the first answer is luteinizing hormone is responsible for triggering ovulation. If ovulation is not triggered, do you have the ovum? No. If you don't have ovum, can you become fertile? Can you become pregnant? No. So it means that explaining how the under secretion of this hormone, meaning that you have the hormone, but it's low. It means that there will be low chances of the ovum being released, or there will be low chances of the ovum being triggered to be released, meaning that we don't have, then it will be low chances of fertilization. You understand? Yes, and if there is no fertilization of low chance of fertilization, it means that you don't have the baby. What about when this luteinizing hormone, the second function is stimulation of the conversion of empty Graafian follicle to corpus luteum, and then now this corpus luteum, not corpus callosum, corpus luteum is not converted to. What is the function of corpus luteum? Is to produce progesterone. You don't have progesterone, no pregnancy. Because progesterone maintains the pregnancy. Are you fertile? No. Because you can't give birth. Okay. You can become pregnant, but you can't give birth. Are you fertile? I don't think so. So, it means that there will be no progesterone, meaning that pregnancy cannot be maintained. Okay, progesterone will be there, but the chances, because we said under secretion, progesterone will be there, but it will be it could be less. But the major important thing here is the ovum, the chances of the ovum to be released are low, meaning that there will be low chances of the ovum being produced, and then low levels of that person to become fertile, to become pregnant, meaning that the chances of fertilization take place are also low. It's like someone having low sperm count. If you're not above 18, switch off your audio. So above 18, it means that even if you are eating in the morning, evening, supper, night, you can't have a baby, as you have to be every time you are struggling for the baby. When I say eating, I'm only talking about people who are old enough to understand the concept of what I'm saying. Yes, it means that if you are fertile, it means that you once someone is pregnant. Once. If you are not, you have low sperm count. hundreds of times. Explain why decrease in the maturation of ovarian follicle may lead to reduced implantation rate. Here, ovarian there's a decrease in the maturation of, if the Graafian follicle does not mature, how is that lead to reduced implantation? So you have to ask yourself, what does this Graafian follicle bring about? It brings about this hormone called estrogen. And estrogen, if estrogen is not there, what happens? It means that, what's the function of estrogen? Prepares the uterus for implantation. Check. If it's not prepared, reduced implantation. Prepares the uterus for implantation by making the endometrium wall, by making the uterus thick, vesicular, and granular. I stated it here very well in the distinction material. Yes, you can go to reproduction, or you can come even here. I stated it here very well. Estrogen prepares the uterus. Look, prepares the uterus for implantation. Check. By how? By making it thick, vesicular, and granular. It means that if we don't have this, it means that of this estrogen, first of all, first point, estrogen will be produced in less amount. That's point number one. You get a tick. Cool. Number two, you talk about the function of the estrogen. Estrogen will not prepare the uterus fully for implantation. Another tick. How? It will be less thick, less vesicular, less granular. I don't know how many ticks are there. Yes, less thick, less vesicular, less granular. And then, if the endometrium or the uterus is not ready, there will be less chances of implantation to take place. Yeah. So, I call this book My Baby. Why? It solves all the problems of my babies. When I say my babies, I mean my kids from the other fathers and other mothers. I mean my students. All right. Let's go to the next question. Describe the process of spermatogenesis. Distinction material. Don't forget that the process of spermatogenesis is not the same way the other books, I'm not going to say those books, are stating it out. We modified it based on the new examination guideline. That's why this book is updated every year. So if you have a version for the last year, you have to use the version for this year, so that those small things which we keep on adding, you can do what? You can be corrected. Spermatogenesis is the formation of the sperms. Process. Check what they are looking for. How many marks? 4 marks. Check. Under the influence of testosterone, 1 mark. The diploid cell, another mark, in the seminiferous tube will undergo mitosis to form 4 haploid sperm cells. Simple. 4 marks are there waiting for you. I told you that different color means a marking point. Under the influence of testosterone, yes, the diploid cell in the where are they found? In the seminiferous tube will undergo meiosis to form 4 haploid cells. Even if you say to form haploid sperm cells, correct. Simple. Yes, we no longer using this method. Yes, I was showing you here so that you understand exactly the science behind, but this is what we want. Clear? Let's go to the next question. Frogs. I know some of you like frogs, some of you don't like them. Yes. Frogs survive in water and on land. Most frogs, however, need water for reproduction during breeding season. Males and female frogs release millions of sperms into the water. They're saying 2.4.1. Name the type of fertilization and describe Name the type of fertilization described above. Fertilization, look, where is it taking place? Millions of sperms are released in the gametes into water, meaning that it's not inside the female. So the answer is gonna become external fertilization. Yes, external fertilization. Explain why millions of sperms are released. Yes, why do we have to release millions and millions of sperms? So to increase the chance of these sperms to meet the ovum so that fertilization can take place. Yes. So why do we release? To increase the chance of these sperms to meet the ovum so that successful fertilization or fertilization can take place. That's what they are looking for. State why reproduction in frogs is an example of oviparous reproduction. What is oviparous? Yes, oviparous or ovipary means that the development of the embryo is outside the female's body. So it is classified as ovipary. Why? Because the development of the embryo is out. It's not about fertilization being outside. But definitely, if fertilization is outside, do you expect the egg to go back inside the female's body? No. So the development of the embryo occurs outside the female's body. Next question. So those marks must be obtained. The skin. I used to draw the skin, and then some people were saying that, the skin is so simple. Actually, the skin is so simple. Yes, very simple. They're saying that, okay, what is A? A is the sweat duct, sweat gland, duct, sweat. Add the word sweat. Add the word sweat. Pore. Sweat outside. Sweat. Sweat pore, sweat duct, sweat gland. Then these are capillaries. All right. Yeah, those are the things which you need to know about the structure of the skin. Give 2 reasons why A is classified as exocrine. Why is A? First of all, exocrine, they have ducts. We call them duct glands. That's what I said here in the distinction material, that we call them exocrine because they have what we call the duct. They are duct glands. Yes. Check. Exocrine glands, we call them duct. Endocrine glands, we call them ductless glands. And then these exocrine glands, they what? We call them duct glands. Yes. And then number 2, sweat gland secretes the sweat where it is needed, outside the what? The skin. Therefore, the secretion is secreted directly to where it is needed. Simple as eating ice cream, no bones. Yes. Describe the role of the skin in the thermoregulation. How is the skin? Skin receptors? How is the skin receptors? Yes, important in thermoregulation. Basically, the skin receptors, they detect the change in temperature and converts the stimulus into the impulse. Simple. Detect the change in temperature, and then they convert that stimulus into a nerve impulse, which is sent along the neuron. So now, detection is a marking point, and also conversion of the stimulus into a nerve impulse is another question, another mark. Explain why structure B dilates on hot day. Why do we have a big dilation here on hot day? Yeah, why do you see your blood vessels on hot day? Yeah, the same thing I was talking about on the skin. Guys, there is no way in this life science you're gonna fail this. born. There is no way. Yes, what you need to do is to do what I'm telling you. Download a distinction material book, use it, make sure that you get a distinction. I'll be happy where I will be, whether I know you or I don't know you, as long as you're happy. All right, let's continue. They're saying that we are saying that yes, here check how they are. They are big, ne? Yes, they are big. You see, much heat is lost, so it dilates so that it can supply, allow more blood to flow near the skin. You see, more blood is flowing near the skin. More blood is flowing near the skin, and as it flows near the skin, heat is lost. That's what they are trying to say. So allows more blood to flow near the skin so that more heat is lost. Yes, that's it. That's why it dilates during the hot days. Sometimes we can also say that it dilates so that it can supply more blood to the sweat gland, so that the sweat gland can become more active. What are the worker in some factories are constantly exposed to loud noise. Okay, this is just a story for a long period of time. This can destroy the hair. Okay, it can destroy the hair cells in the organ of Corti. They can destroy. Okay, we know that now the loud noise, people who are staying in towns where beep 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 beep, hey, this one is making noise, this one is putting on music. Take note of that. Damage and the auditory nerve, resulting in hearing loss. Okay, survey was conducted in the developing countries. 2024, 2014 to 2018, to establish the number of factory workers who suffer from this hearing loss. Results are shown in the table below. Question number 1. Name the structure where the organ of Corti is located. Cochlea. We call it cochlea. Yes. Calculate the percentage increase. Yes, percentage increase. We like to ask you this. Ne? I don't know why. Maybe students, they don't get it right. Yes. Here percentage increase is equal to final minus initial over initial times 100%. Final, what is final? 2018. So my final is gonna be this 130,000 minus initial, which is 85,000. Yes, divide by the initial 85,000 times 100%. So you calculate using your calculators. What is the answer? Around maybe 52.9%. Yeah, so that becomes the percentage increase. Sometimes they can say percentage decrease, same thing, but that might be, yes, it must be maybe in negatives. Anyway, let's go. They're saying that suggest one reason why increase in the number of factory workers with hearing loss caused by exposure to loud noise in this can suggest one reason for the increase in the number of factory workers with hearing loss caused by exposure to loud noise in this country. They said it here. That this can destroy the hair cells in the organ of Corti and damage the auditory nerves. Yes, they said it here. That's why I like the passage. You get the answers from there. Draw a bar graph. Bar graph, you want me to draw? I don't think so. But what is important here is you have to be with a caption with the two variables. Yes, meaning that you have the variable of the year and the number of workers with that problem. And then we use the ID method. You remember the ID method? You remember the ID method? Some of you don't know the ID method. Let me show you the ID method. All right, the ID method is, you say ID X Y, independent variable on x-axis, dependent variable on y-axis. This is the independent variable, and then this is the dependent variable. Simple. And then now it means that number of workers is going to be on the where y-axis here, and then number of years is going to be where here. Simple. And then if you look at this, because there is increase, you will find out that it will have that shape. Don't forget, how do we mark? This must be years, but years, yes. If it has units, make sure that you put units. If there is no units, the same thing. And then here numbers, you must put the units. If it's there, make sure that the distance between here and here and here and they are the same. Make sure that these bars, they have the same breadth, meaning that how big they are must be the same, or otherwise you're gonna lose marks. Yes. So we mark the caption, we mark the correct type of the graph, because some people, they will draw a histogram instead of a bar graph. We mark the plotting, we mark the axis. Yes, we mark the axis, x and y, and then also mark the scale. Scale, make sure that if you start 0, 2, 4, for in this case, it's gonna be what? It can't start from 0. Yeah, why? Because it's not that big. Maybe you're gonna start from 5,000, 50,000, 50,000, 100,000, something like that. Or you will see the best scale you can use. Yes. So that is the question. Hope I'm clear there. Let's go to the next question. Which question is this? Question 3, meaning that now we have 100 marks. Mahala. 100 marks. Yes. Meaning that 100 out of 150, how much is that? Yes. So now you know how much you have. Yeah, tell me, is the paper easy, difficult? Let's go to the next question. They are saying that the graph below shows the concentration of abscisic acid in the cherry tree during the different seasons of the year. They are saying that this tree species loses all the leaves in the autumn and goes into state of dormancy, meaning that this tree, in science we call them deciduous plants. Plants which lose their leaves during the period of what? During the period of winter. Yes, we call them deciduous plants. Yes, question 1. Question 1. They are saying that I need to be a little bit faster so that I finish. The first question, they are saying that during which month was abscisic acid concentration lowest? It's obvious, guys. During which month? Check this is concentration. November. Simple. November. Explain the trend of the graph from March to May. They are saying explain, not describe. Why? From March, they said March, from March to May. When they say explain, you have to give a reason. Yes. From March to May, there is an increase in the concentration of abscisic acid. Why? Because, don't forget, as they say that abscisic concentration, different season of the year. This tree lose all the leaves during autumn, meaning that the abscisic acid is the one which is important for shedding of the leaves. So it means that why does it increase? So that it triggers that shedding of the leaves, so that the plant can undergo dormancy. So you mentioning increases, yes, a mark, and also explaining why does it increase, so that it can bring about the shedding of the leaves during this period, so that it enters when it is already dormant. Does not lose a lot of water during winter, because it doesn't have that water in the system. All right, state one reason why dormancy in cherry trees. Suggest one reason why dormancy in cherry trees during winter month. Why do they shed? Why do they undergo dormancy? So that it minimizes the amount of water loss to the atmosphere. Yes, don't forget that water loss is most especially through leaves. So when you shed the leaves, it means that you are minimizing the amount of water being lost to the atmosphere during this period of dryness. Yes, the next question. Geotropism. Geotropism. Yeah, how about geotropism? If you look at geotropism, what are they looking at here? Geotropism is a plant response to the gravity. Sometimes call it gravitropism. Movement of the part plant response to gravity. Oh, they have talked about this. Tropism is controlled by oxins. Describe the role of oxins in the roots. Basically, oxins are found at the tip of the root. And oxins, they bring about growth. So the first role is it brings about growth. But how does it bring about growth? High concentration of oxin will inhibit that part which has high concentration of oxin will inhibit growth. So basically, that's what you talk about, meaning that the part which has low concentration of oxin will grow faster, and then to bring about the bending action of the root. Then they're saying that 3.22, when a plant is placed horizontally, okay, you place it horizontally with light coming from all the direction, oxins will accumulate on the lower side of both stem and root. Explain the difference in a response on the root. And okay, here they are asking you that if you have light, you place the two things horizontally. Let me show you here in a different what here. They are saying that okay, you have a plant, you place here and you also place here. If this is a shoot, and then this is a root, yes. But if you have light from top, yes, from top, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have high concentration of oxygen here. Don't forget that the role of oxygen in roots, it is brings about growth. Even here brings about growth, but in roots, high concentration brings about inhibit, and then high concentration in root brings about promote. It means that this side is gonna grow faster, bringing about bending upwards, while this one is gonna grow slower and this one is gonna grow faster, bringing about the bending activity. Yes, so basically in roots, the leaf, the shoot will bend towards the source of light, whereby the high concentration of oxins will stimulate that growth. And then in roots, the root is gonna bend away from the light, meaning that high concentration of oxins in root will bring about inhibiting. So this is what I'm saying of the inotropism. If you look at our distinction material book, yes, that's what they are saying. High concentration of oxin bring about that bending towards, you see. And then in the roots, high concentration, check the high concentration is here. High concentration is here. It brings about the bending. The one which has no high concentration bends, grows faster than the one which has. That's why you see these ones that are too small, all these ones are longer. Don't forget that growth is elongation of the cell. Yes. So basically the upper part will go faster than why? Because the oxins will be high at a lower side, meaning that the upper side will grow faster than the lower side. So that's what they are talking about there. The second question is so here what they are looking for is to show us that in roots, high concentration promotes, resulting in the bending of the shoot to a source of light. And in roots, high concentration result in inhibition or inhibiting or limiting growth, resulting in the root bending to the ground or away from the light. Yes, let's go to the next question. The next question is talking about, yes, independent variable and dependent variable. Here I'm not going to waste too much time, because we always ask you questions concerning about this. We don't bring the same question, but I'm seeing that my battery is dying. All right, let me just say, name the gland that secretes aldosterone. Let's just go straight to the question without you have to read here, né? But what is most important here is this: scientists investigated the influence of decrease in aldosterone level on the blood. Yes, scientists investigated, yes, aldosterone level in the blood. So this is the most important thing. Yes, so if that is the most important thing, so it means that it can help us to know which one is independent, which one is dependent. Identify independent variable. Aldosterone is secreted by adrenal gland. Adrenal gland. Yes. And then independent variable. Independent variable, they are saying that investigated the influence of increase in aldosterone level on the blood pressure. Blood pressure versus influence of increased aldosterone level. This versus this. So it means that blood pressure is being influenced by this. So blood pressure becomes dependent, and then the influence of aldosterone level is dependent. Then the next question is saying, give 2 reasons why results may be considered reliable. The reliability, don't forget that you repeat the experiment. Did they repeat the experiment? Yes. Let's check. Yes, they said that they repeated the experiment. They measured every, this is average. Ne? Is it average? No. They measured every 4 hours. Every 4 hours for 12 hours. Meaning that they kept on repeating. And then they said that they calculate the average pressure. That is average. So meaning that they calculated for average, and also they repeated over a period of 4 hours for 12 4 hours for 4 hours for every 4 hours for every hour for 12 hours. They repeated it 12 hours, 12 times basically. Yes. They're saying that explain 2 reasons why there was important for participant for the same diet. Yeah, so that you have the same maybe salt concentration, and then also to keep the same blood pressure, because if you have different types of food, it will bring, because they said that it brings about blood pressure. Yes, somewhere there. So I'm just rushing so that I go to the last question, because that is an open question. This is not that we're gonna bring the same question, ne? Yes, so it's just how do you extract it from the question. They're saying, explain why participant blood pressure was measured before the start of the investigation. Whenever you do that, it means that you are looking for the reference point, basically to act as a control, or to have a reference point where you know that, okay, without it, or without it, what will happen, or before you applied the experimental measures, what was the conditions before, so that now you can bring about comparison. So basically is to compare the results or reference point. Explain why the level of salt in the urine of the participant expected to decrease after being injected with the aldosterone. Don't forget, the function of aldosterone is to stimulate the nephron, so that there is more reabsorption of this salt back to blood. It means that you have less salts in the urine, and more will be reabsorbed back to the next question. Yes, is the last question, I think. That is the eye. I know you like the eye, ne? You like the eye the way I like it. Yes, I think you like the eye the way I like it. So they're saying that what is A? A is vitreous humor. B is yellow spot. C is blind spot. D is lens. E is cornea. F is iris. So you have to know them. Identify F, we have said it. F, it is iris. And then you're saying state two functions of A. Where is A? Function of A. It brings about the shape of the eyeball. Yes, it brings about, ne? Yes, it maintains the shape of the eyeball. I stated it here in the distinction material book very well. If you have the eye, then it means that you have this book, as I told you, that there is no way you're gonna fail. Yes, check it here. I said it here. This is aqueous humor. Change, yes, changes the shape of the near and far distance. No, that's the lens. That's not is here. It gives the shape of the eye. It gives the shape of the to the eye, meaning that it brings about that shape of the eyeball. Then number 2, state the function of A. Okay, we have seen it. Describe the structural difference between B and C. Structural difference between B and C. B is yellow spot. That's where the clearest image is formed. So it has more rods and cones. Highest concentration of rods and cones are found in B. They are saying structure. And then C has no photoreceptors, has no rods and cones at all. Meaning that if the image forms there, you'll be blind. You won't be able to see that object. That's why you're saying that it is the blind spot. The next question is saying that describe this. Okay, name the visual defect occurs when the curvature of the eye is uneven. When the curvature of the eye is uneven, we call it the curvature of the eye is uneven, so we call it astigmatism. So we said it here. Astigmatism is when the cornea or the lens is not evenly rounded in all direction. It means that it's not evenly distributed, so it is called astigmatism. Then they are saying that explain why sight on person, explain how the sight of the person will be affected if cataracts develops. Remember, we said that cataracts here is when the eye is cloudy, the lens is cloudy. So it means that light will not be able to go through. The lens becomes opaque, you see. So it means that you will be having this blurry vision. Yes, that's what they are asking you. What will happen? You will have blurry vision because light rays will not go through the lens. Why? Because the lens has become opaque. Check. Use distinction material. There is no way you're gonna fail. Yes. The next question, they are saying that describe the process of accommodation that takes place when the object is less than 6 meters. Buffet. Still, buffet. This paper, buffet. Ne? It is less than 6 meters. This is more than 6 meters. So memorize one and then do the rest. Just have to memorize one. We are saying that ciliary muscles contract, suspensor ligament slacken, tension on the lens decrease, the lens becomes more convex, light rays is reflected to the retina, or more light rays are bent more, and then a clear image is focused onto the retina. I'm rushing because of the electricity is gone. However, my system is dying in the next 3 minutes, yet the electricity is coming back within 7 minutes. So it means that I'll be having that time when I don't have electricity. So you guys, I'm going to say that thank you very much for being here with me. Yes, I was discussing the final paper for 2023 Life Science. You saw that this paper was easy. Yes, this paper was really easy. Most especially those people who used my distinction material. Yes, those people who used my distinction material, I know that you got this paper.